Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Lee, aka Rollin Thunder, and in today's video we're talking about upgrades, accessories and parts for the 1098. So sit back, relax, grab a cup of tea and let us get into the video. So ladies and gentlemen, how are we all doing? I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're enjoying my 30-day challenge. We are a couple of days from getting to the end of the whole challenge itself, and I hope you guys have enjoyed what I've been doing and the amount of videos that I've been putting out, and I hope that the content that's been produced has been somewhat entertaining for you lovely lot. But today's video is about parts and other different random accessories for the 1098 that I really want to get, or should I say hope to get, in the next couple of weeks and over the winter, and also some cosmetic changes which I'd like to have happen. I have mentioned this a couple of times in previous videos as to what I'm looking to get done, but I just want to go over a few things, clarify a few points, and also give you guys a much more in-depth reasoning, well not necessarily reasoning, but a much more in-depth parts list that I want to achieve by the end of this year stroke beginning of next. We'll start from the front and we'll work our way back. So as far as the front of the bike is concerned, I don't really want to be touching the calipers because the calipers are still stupidly good. Maybe get them refurbished at some point, like new dust and oil seals and maybe new pistons. Definitely a new set of pads before next season starts. I also want to get for the front end, I want to try and see if I can get the drive fit connectors for the brake lines, so that I can take the calipers off and give them a good old clean without any issue of losing any oil, or should I say brake fluid, and also getting air in the brake lines. If you've ever had to bleed brake lines on a motorcycle that's got two front calipers with separate brake lines, as you can probably imagine, they can be an absolute fucking pig to bleed in some cases, especially if there's ABS involved, which thankfully there isn't on this. I also want to get one of the Brembo RCS radial master cylinders. I don't know what one I'll get, or even if I can get one. I know they're not cheap, and I know a lot of people use the RCS 19, and I think there's also like a 17 version of it as well. I don't know which one I'll get, but I just want something to help beef up the braking potential of the front end, because let's face it, on a sports bike 85% braking is done with the front and 15 is with the rear. And if you ride the powerful sports bike like this, the best you can hope for with the rear caliper is possibly a slide. That's about as good as you can get, I suppose. I'm also thinking of getting a Brembo radial clutch master cylinder to replace the OEM one that's on there at the moment. And I know the OEM one's Brembo as well, but I could do with just a little bit more feel. Whether that's something I can get in the future, I don't know. I'll need to look into that. Something's going on. That's two undercover cars that have gone past me now. And if you guys, if anyone who watches my videos has these particular items that I'm mentioning, please feel free to put in the comments down below what bike you've got, what you're using, how good they are, bad they are, would you recommend them or not. So moving further back on the bike from the handlebars, as you can see, I've already got the lever guards on here as is, and I really like them. I know it sounds really petty, but I like the lever guards that just make the bike a bit more racy. I want to as well, if possible, like I've also mentioned, get the bike hydro dipped. So with any luck that will happen over the winter as well. As you guys know, I have got some cheap Chinese bearings that I had on the bike beforehand, but now I've got the OEM ones back on, so I can send the cheap shitty ones off to be looked at and repaired and whatever else it needs doing to them. So that's going to happen as well over the winter. I've been quoted about £300, between £300 and £500 to get that done, which would be nice. Well, it'd be quite expensive, but I think it'll be worth it. As well as that, I want to get my wheels refurbished. I want to get the standard red that's on them now taken off, because it's just looking, you know, grotty. And I know people say, oh yeah, just get them powder coated, do this, do that, do the other, and yeah, that probably will happen, but I'm not going to be using the red that currently is on the bike. I'm going to be changing it to a more candy apple red, and I have got an example of that on a car wheel that I saw not too long ago, so I will throw that up in the video so you guys can see what that looks like. So that's the plan for the wheels and the front end. Engine wise, I don't really want to do a lot to her. Just basically maybe get her on a dyno, do a few power runs to see what she's actually making. If she's making decent power, I'll leave her alone. If she's not, then I will consider getting her remapped. New spark plugs, oil, timing belts, and all that good stuff all at once as well. Because if you guys remember, not so long ago, well, I say not so long ago, I'm talking about a good 10 years ago now, I had a 748 that I didn't really maintain very well, through my own naivety, it must be said. And the timing belt snapped when I was going down the A3 at about 60 mile an hour. So I want to avoid shit like that happening again. And as you can appreciate, with a bike like mine, and as you can appreciate as well, because I've already had this engine rebuilt once, I would rather not have to go down that route of having it done again. So I'm going to try and do things like my timing belts, spark plugs, oil, filters, all that kind of stuff on a yearly basis rather than every 2 or 3 years or whatever they say it's supposed to be done by, because I just, you know, I'm not running the risk of having the bike blow up on me like it did before, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I'm also thinking about making a change to the exhaust system. Now, as you guys know, this bike currently has Termignoni slip-ons, and it's got standard headers, standard link pipe, but has a servo body which basically confuses the ECU into thinking that the exhaust valve is opening and closing when it's permanently open. Now, okay, fair enough, it won't pass many MOTs like it, but I'll be honest, I don't really care, because when MOTs come about, I will literally just put the original exhaust back on, and that's got all the baffles and everything else in it, so I don't really have to worry about that. Hey, it's this R3 I keep seeing. Sorry, not an R3, an R125 even. I also really want to try and get my hands on, if I can, a set of domino grips, because I've been told, or should I say I was told by a customer at work the other day, that the domino grips are very good. They offer a great feel, they're not too thin, they're not too sticky, and so on. And I know it's not the same bike he was on. He was on a 2012 Aprilia RSV4. Okay, fine, it's not the same bike, it's not even the same brand. But the fact that someone on an RSV4 was able to commit wholeheartedly to saying that the domino grips work really well for his bike, and yes, okay, he does ride it on the road, but it is predominantly a track machine, you know, that's a very good sign in my opinion. Just talking about Domino as a brand, I'm tempted to get a Domino quick action throttle. Again, I don't know how good a product that is, whether it's worth getting or not, because like I said, I've never had one. The closest thing to a quick action throttle that I've had in the past was literally the cheap alternative, which was, and it's a very good hack I must admit, of having a Yamaha R6 or R1, I can't remember which one it was, throttle tube in place of my standard OEM one, because the throw on the Yamaha's grip is a lot shorter than the grip that I've currently got on now, which is the standard OEM ones. So that's another thing that I'm, you know, considering getting. Also, again, talking about quick action stuff, I'm tempted to get a quick shifter for this. I'm not too fussed about an auto blipper as such, but definitely interested in the quick shifter. I've heard track bikes that sound fucking amazing. I've heard street bikes with quick shifters that sound amazing, and it's like, ooh, do I get one? Do I not? I'd love to get one, but I've heard some fucking right horror stories about quick shifters on this particular generation of bikes, saying that they don't work, they chew up the gearbox and blah 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 blah. And that may be down to the way that the bike's been set up. It may be down to a poor installation or a poor setup. I don't know what it could be, so you know, I'm going to take that particular comment with a pinch of salt, because I'm not prepared to get involved and be like, yeah, no, it doesn't work, blah 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 blah, and so on and so on. I am also looking to get the bike set up suspension wise for me. Now how good that's going to pan out and how much it's going to cost me, I honestly don't have a clue, but when that happens I'll be sure to let you guys know. So as well as suspension, wheels, quick shifter, quick action throttle, domino grips, full in inverted commas service, and the hydro dipping. I'm also considering getting a new chain sprocket system set up. Oh, excuse me. Now what's currently on the bike is okay, but I'm thinking about going with either a Renthal quick change sprocket carrier or something along those lines. Not quite sure which. Something like that will obviously improve the maintainability of my bike, shall we say. I'm not going to commit and say that it's going to pretty much streamline the whole entire servicing process of the bike, because I don't think it will, if I'm honest. But what I can say and what I will say is that a new chain and sprocket is definitely needed for this bike very, very soon. Because what I want to do, and as childish as this sounds, I want this bike to wheelie under its own power. I know it's not good for the front cylinder and stuff like that, like we're starving the motor of oil. So it's not something I'm going to do on a regular basis, but I just want to be able to get the power down. And this is why I fucking hate London, because these fucking dickhead PCO drivers. Rude boy, what are you doing? I fucking hate PCO drivers, they're dickheads. What that guy did there, what that guy just did was absolutely unnecessary. Didn't have to start fucking jumping around in traffic and whatever else. He could have just fucking waited for me to have got moving, and then he could have jumped in behind me. But no, had to be fucking in front of me, didn't he? Just because you drive a fucking Mercedes. Anyway, I digress. So with all the lists, so with all the parts that I've listed so far, ladies and gentlemen, do you think I've got enough bits to make the bike as good as it could possibly be? Is there something that I've missed? Is there something that I've overlooked? Is there something that I should be looking at that would be a better investment? Is there something that I should be looking at that offers a better value for money result? Or should I stick with what I'm currently doing? That's kind of my list. That's where I'm at. That's what I want to achieve in the next couple of months, 6 months maybe, because you know the bike is in desperate need of some decent TLC, I'm not going to lie. And if you guys have got any input or any comments about what I could be looking at or should be looking at instead of what I've listed, please feel free to put it in the comments box down below. All your help and comments and knowledge is greatly appreciated. So if there's something that I've missed or something that I've overlooked that you guys would think would be a better investment for me, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. Because like I've said, all the comments and all the suggestions are greatly appreciated. So feel free to let me know what you guys think. Am I investing in, oh, Ferrari, am I investing in the right areas or am I not? And as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, your thoughts and opinions are always greatly appreciated. The love and the support you show me is so humbling, and I can't thank you guys enough. So as always, thank you for the continued support. Thank you so much. It does mean a hell of a lot to me. It does help me stay motivated, as I always say. So, you know, thank you. I know I keep saying it, but I can't say anything else other than thank you. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what you see and you want to see more, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. And if you wouldn't mind just taking a couple of seconds out of your day, just smash the like button on this video. It does help me with the YouTube algorithm, so that would be amazing if you could do that. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you have been awesome. I have been Lee, aka Rollin Thunder. So for now, look after yourselves, look after each other, stay safe on the roads, be aware of COVID-19, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, adios.